Like to call this study session of the City Council to order this Monday night, December 15th, 2025 at 6:11 p.m. We have one item on the agenda tonight, items for discussion, 2026 budget study session for Water, Sewer, and Parks Department. Casey, did y'all work out he was going first, or Mr. Kirk? You're up, sir.
I've highlighted, gone through and highlighted the line items that changed from last year to this year. It's pretty straightforward. We did have some overages, but we've covered that with our city sales and use. Those items have actually been moved, those line items have been moved over to city sales and use, so that we can take care of them over there. And then I'll just be able to address those whenever we get to the city sales and use side, because Tom has notated what we actually moved. The first line item that's different from this year, this year to next year, is the computer information technology. We're using a new set of software for the pavilion bookings, and the reason it's more expensive is that we're able to do more with it. We're able to accept payments online now. So folks being able to pay with a credit card is huge for the pavilion. We're also able to book every single pavilion in the park now. So we're able to book the large Ed Wilkinson pavilion, and then each individual pavilion, even though some of them don't carry a cost, they're able to reserve them. We're also able to we're able to use it for signups, this same application for signups for the summer program, and also able to take vendor signups for Freedom Fest, Fall Fest, and Christmas on the Square. So we're getting a little more bang for our buck.
Is that completely online now?
It's getting there. I'm gonna shoot for the first of the year.
Okay.
So yes, it's ready to go. Everything's on the back end ready to go. We just need to push.
And help you with potential overbooking too, obviously.
Potential, yeah.
Okay.
Education and training, we had a heavier year this year, so we dropped that down from 3,500 to 2,000. Same for the special elections. Palm typically controls that, so that's been changed. The fuel for the vehicles and the equipment, you'll see everything on the right-hand side. Anything with CSUT beside it, that's been moved to our city sales and use side. So most of our true operational stuff is being moved to city sales and use. Fuel for equipment and vehicles. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just tell them why.
Oh,
The city sales and use taxing document stipulates what that money is supposed to be used for. And what's been happening is, not necessarily by him, but years after years, it's been moving back and forth between operations and city sales and use tax, either to make up for a deficit on one side or not on the other, or vice versa. But what we've decided, because of how it's impacting the unrestricted general fund, is that with the taxing document expects that that money is being used for, we need to shift it to city sales and use tax and leave it there, because that's basically the restricted monies that he has to operate from for parks and parks related equipment and property and the park itself. So everything that's CSUT that says move to CSUT is not being covered under the Parks Department's restricted monies coming in from that quarter 1%. So now you get a better idea of exactly what it takes to run that, but run the parks with the tax dollars. And that comes into play when you are answering questions about why it's important that that tax get extended. Because now you'll see the true cost. That's why we did that.
Good. Good.
Makes sense.
same for the insurance on the equipment. Our health insurance, if you take a look at that, this is something that Tom and I actually caught while we were discussing our budget. We had a fairly large increase for health insurance for our team. And that was just due to a couple of our guys, and myself included, I believe, taking on extra dependents. We switched from employee only to having dependents on our insurance, so it caused quite the increase. Next two line items were moved to city sales and use tax that changed. Those were the maintenance on the building and the equipment. Materials and supplies, we upped that to 9,000 from 8,500 this year. Office supplies, we dropped down to 500. And then the other thing that we changed, Tom and I, public relations, 6,500. Next, the last line item added. That's for the hanging baskets throughout the city, and then also the tree purchases for Fall Fest. And that's something that we both felt like were more general fund items than city sales and use tax items.
Was that the boy, I thought the Boys Club did that. I mean, the Boy Scouts.
We hand them out, but they come through the parks.
Oh, okay.
The tree committee.
On the next page, the retirement fund changed just because we picked up an additional team member. It's now receiving the retirement. The salaries across the board only changed by whatever the council will allow for cost of living increase. We've opted to take zeros on merit increases this year. We raised the telephone to 4,500, and in doing that, we also found that we had some extra landline services and a DSL service that no one uses. Unfortunately, those are just not bills that I see, so we were able to save around $2,300 a year. The transportation and lodging, we knocked that down for half. That's something that we're expecting to see reduced, being that the training budget is so limited. Most of that transportation and lodging fund, or those monies are necessary for primarily training. Same for the uniform expense. We just didn't spend the money that we expected to this year, so we dropped it down from 3,000 to 1,500. Those are the changes on the general side of things. Does anyone have questions I can answer?
Notice the salaries have the 2.5.
And so you don't plan on any part-time employees for the summer or anything?
No, we have 3 now. We have 3 full-timers, and they make up what we had before. We had 2.5 whenever I first started, and we added 2.
Feel like we need some elevator music or something. Roger, you studying?
Nothing wrong with
Currently, the revenue for county sales tax for parks is flat. So you notice that number is fairly consistent with what we're anticipating the amount to be
And so the big increase in the city sales and use tax is just because of the shifting from,
Yeah, he's gonna go
General.
with that, he's just looking at operations right now.
oh, okay.
He'll go to that next budget.
I'm ready to go to the next if you are.
Go ahead.
Roger, you good?
I'm good.
Yeah, line item by line item, the capital expenditures, most of these right now are gonna be, maintenance related. We replaced one air conditioning unit on the pavilion this year. That, first line item for capital expenditures of $32,000 will replace the second one. What you see for, capital improvement projects at another $32,000 will actually be moved to the inclusive, park project to cover that $100,000 from Farmers Bank. We're working that out between some additional projects that we had put on hold this year and extra money that we were able to locate within this year's budget to make that $100,000 work within the department. Professional fees at $17,500. This covers the engineering for the paving from the Oaks to Bell Park. And then you'll see maintenance building, we moved 17,000 to 4,500. That's something that we're not expecting to need as much money on this year. We're fairly caught up in that regard. Maintenance and repair equipment, that's one line item that we did move from parks, from the operating budget to city sales and use so that we could cover some of the overage. The maintenance and repair playground equipment, that's at $37,000 this, for next year. We're going to resurface the pickleball courts. And then every year, we just put $10,000 in that line item so that we're able to take care of the parks. Any general maintenance that pops up. Typically, we try to put at least a truckload of mulch on a park. Next year, that will be Eagle Scout Park. We'll have a truckload of mulch. So the next 5 line items, those are all items that we transferred from parks. So fuel for equipment, vehicles, maintenance repair, insurance for building property, and insurance on the equipment. We changed our contract with the mowing service this year. Our 3 team members are going to be mowing the square, whereas before we've used Greenview in the past. So we're gonna mow it ourselves and contract out mowing Bell Park as we have in the past. By mowing the square, taking care of the square ourselves, and changing contracts, we saved $20,000. So we've reduced from $50,610 to $30,000 next year. We're sending another $150,000 to the inclusive park project next year. And that puts us at the $275,000 that we originally intended to spend on the project as a whole. So we'll be at our goal, and then we'll be able to start next year with that grant from the Office of Outdoor Recreation.
Gentlemen, you guys are all obviously welcome. Are y'all not looking for the planning meeting, are you, by any chance? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're welcome to stay.
Board, if you stay in here.
Huh? They saw food. I kept thinking, who are those people? Sorry, Casey.
No, you're fine.
Hey, real quick, you may have already passed her, maybe I was in a daze there, the inclusive, or the grant. Have you got that in here, or are we not?
Something that we haven't worked out yet. I
Okay.
talked to Tom about it today.
Okay,
I think that we're still getting our bearings on it.
okay,
Obviously, it'll be book revenue and city sales and use. The intention is to, because we have more or less 3 arms of well, 4
Thank you,
if you
Charlotte.
include the grant. But 3 arms of revenue
Yeah.
per se. So us, a nonprofit in Kansas or Missouri that is acting as a consultant, and then the nonprofit that's local to our area. The idea is that we'll have all of that money brought into the city, and then we'll be able to reimburse with the grant from the city.
Okay. You're just gonna work it in then as it becomes available, or, okay. Is that the right way to put it? I can not see your I can't see your expression, all I can see is your,
Well, the Inclusive Park Project is its own, virtual account in the
Right.
Parks Department. So all the expenses that's related to that should actually be recorded on those books.
Yeah.
And all this is saying is that city sales and use tax is moving money over to them to keep it into on their books so that we know exactly how much
Okay.
inflow and outflow is passing through that.
Okay.
Similar to what we did with the splash pad.
and congratulations again. That's
Thank you.
major. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
The biggest difference that you see that is not on your monthly reports that you get from the Centerpoint system is the loan on the splash pad. You'll see the interest posted there because it is an actual interest expense, but the way we book the loan itself is on the balance sheet. So the principal payments come out of the city sales and use tax, and that's why you see it budgeted in $145,000 for next year, is the total principal. We are making a $40,000 payment this week. We'll be taking it over to Farmers Bank and putting it as additional paid-in capital on that loan. Courtesy of the AEP Commission. When you look at the bottom line on the page 6, you see the amount that their balance is projected to go to. It's their balance at the end of 2026, if everything comes to fruition, will be $165-ish thousand, well below the 250 that we would like to be at. But the good news is that the expenditure that you see up there for $150,000 is it'll be just this 1 year. And then that money comes back into the coffers, assuming that the tax is continued. So there's recovery down the road, and 2 years after that, the loan's paid off. So you'll be looking at, they'll be looking at significant amount, that $145,000 for 3 more years will come back to them, plus that $150,000 that they're gonna gain next year.
On the
27.
city sales and use tax, as far as the revenue, is that the 510, is it, I just figured it'd be kind of equal to the 551, of this year's budget, the revenues that came in.
That year's budget was 3% growth, 551. We didn't come anywhere close. Matter of fact, we're gonna be below that. So what you see, that 510, that's an estimated December amount with the actuals for January through November. So we're projecting the actual amount that we collect in 2025 to be 510,000, and that's what we're gonna roll for next year's budget. So we're gonna project no growth from this year's actuals.
Okay.
That's why that's lower. Remember that 551
Through
is 3%
3%.
above the previous year.
Okay, thank you.
And Tom, you said 250,000 is what you would like to see maintained in that account?
If they had a contingency for them, for that city sales and use tax fund, but that's funds controlled by the Parks Department, the Parks Commission, because it's monies that were from a taxing document earmarked for them, for that specific purpose. So, they had at one point $1 million in there, but they had a lot of big projects come up, if you will, namely the bridge, and then the park came up, and there's
Lighting,
the what?
trail lighting,
Trail lighting,
splash pad.
splash pad. How do I forget that one? The splash pad, yeah. So that drained them down a little bit, see the light at the end of the tunnel. And, they're happy as a commission with that, balance that we're at. Good news is if taxes go up, they end up getting more money in those coffers. So we can look for, maybe there's some recovery on the growth side, on the revenue.
And you said that, and they'll have potentially 150,000 more next year.
They absolutely, well, in 27.
Yeah, yeah,
They
27.
will, because, that payout for the 150 is 26s, and that's it. And that's factored in the expenditures. So the amount that we have budgeted at the bottom of this 165,000, that's including all those payouts, so there will be no more on that.
That'll be good then.
So phase two.
Oh, no, the grant sealed the deal.
Grant sealed the deal.
So Casey, we're just budgeting for the, engineering for the trail,
That's correct.
so we're not to the point of starting, I mean, have we got all the easements figured out?
We're not even there yet.
Okay,
We're kind of back to the drawing board, actually. This is the estimates for the costs on that trail came back at 1.4 million. And even with the 2 grants that I have, we can't scratch the surface on it. It's about, yeah, don't get in the asphalt business, please. It's 3.25 times what I was originally quoted.
What's your easement? That's the existing trail that we're talking about, right? So that's all Cinda's property, isn't it? With the exception of.
Patty Holmes,
Who?
Holmes Construction,
Wendell?
Oh, down on the, okay. I
is
got
that Patty's dad?
you. No, Patty's dad is Bob Holmes.
That's right.
So, yeah, the beginning of it down there, but that's,
And then there's like 2 or 3 smaller parcels.
is there? Okay. Back behind that, okay.
You're talking about from like Jaegers up to?
Yeah,
The
up to
mill.
the pickleball courts, yeah.
Okay.
Majority of it's Cinda's property, but you got that starting down there on the bottom, yeah. And I think, I mean, I'm not trying to, the Holmes are not, you haven't approached them yet. I mean, you have an easement for the trail that's there. You don't? Okay.
Well, let's talk.
No.
I know Wendell.
Sorry?
I know Wendell,
Oh, you do?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to have that easement. And I had tried.
That Wendell who?
Holmes?
How is that not?
That's 2 different homes.
I don't know.
Holmes Erections is Wendell.
It ain't the same homes, I don't think.
Well, Patty and Bob Holmes were the folks,
Developers,
yeah, they're developers that were gonna do
Gold Creek.
Gold Creek and all that.
Then they're not Holmes
and
Erection.
beyond.
No.
No, that's not,
No.
that's not Wendell
That's
Holmes.
2 different ones.
Yeah, okay,
How are you,
yeah.
she comes by every so often, they still wanna develop up next to Main Street, coming out of that subdivision, the Oak subdivision, so she's still here, she comes and sees Sonny.
She lives in Texas.
Yeah, but every once in a while she'll show up. I'm just curious, I mean, it's kinda throwing it back on me, and I hate to do that, but throw myself under the bus, but I don't understand why we don't have their property secure, if it's the property I'm thinking of. So right at the Oaks, where it stops, the pavement stops, and it turns into gravel, that's what you don't think you have an easement for? I think you do, but get with me.
Okay.
We secured that with,
It was a wacky deal. It was part of like a preliminary plat,
okay,
and then that plat was never pushed through.
so maybe, okay.
They never got like a final plat on it, to where that easement.
So not actually able to give an easement probably.
Right.
But yet they did, kinda, sorta. Okay,
It makes sense.
probably not a hard fix, but,
Right.
but maybe,
Very difficult to get a hold of.
yeah. If you Sonny can be a good contact for you for Patty. I don't know about anybody else, but, you know, if that helps. Anything else, gentlemen? I know you're still looking.
I guess we can move on to I'm done with the CSU or CSUT.
Everybody else?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
A&P, our allocation changed this year from 35 to 40% from the A&P Commission. The A&P Commission asked that the Boy Scouts came to the commission to request those funds from you directly. So we were able to remove $6,000. That still left us short a little bit in the fund, so we had to make some adjustments, make those line items work. Now we are kind of in the sweet spot. That we're in.
Anything on that, gentlemen? Okay.
Looks good.
The rest of what you're gonna see is virtual funds. This is the splash pad account, the next page. We'll show you how much to pay, how much payment we're making next year, additional paid capital, as Tom mentioned a second ago. I'll show you the balance through the end of the year as well.
That 75,000 spoken for, by the way. One thumb, what is it?
It's final construction fees. They've not closed out the project yet, just because they had a couple things to finish out yet. Some things that we wanted to get taken care of after we had the park closed down. So that'll all be wiped out after we close out the project.
It's kind of earmarked. So hopefully when this is all done, that becomes zero.
Zero.
Any residual amounts will go back to city sales and use tax, primarily because they for the large majority of the cost of that splash pad outside of the loan. And, that's where the money would go back to, because they have retainage on. But that might only be about $5,000 maybe. So that's potentially a gain, because he thinks the final bill will be right around 70 something.
Does any of this have anything to do with the park, beyond the parking lot, or is that still pending on when we get the road further engineered?
Yeah, parking lot.
Yeah, just the leftover material and stuff up there, is that just, I mean, I hadn't been up there in a while, since you closed it. Of the splash pad I'm talking about. So you mentioned there was things up there that you needed to get, they were gonna do after the park was, or the pad was
Little
closed.
stuff like the water fountain.
Okay,
They're gonna put an epoxy coat on the inside of that tank.
okay.
And then there's for some reason they put galvanized bolts on the inside of the flooring tank. So they're very rusty. That's all gonna be remedied.
Okay. And did you address, I know you had some concerns early when you first opened it about that fence around that open area of water, that holding tank, is that,
That's on my radar as well.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it's gonna be an additional expense.
you don't have anything budgeted for it? Okay.
The next page, you see is for the inclusive park. This is showing you basically the revenue that we've booked so far. We've received $6,000. $2,000 in donations as anonymous donations. Says $4,000 from the A&P Commission.
You said that in total, y'all committed $275,000 to it?
125 this year and 150 next year.
Next year.
Okay.
We split it up because of what Tom was talking about a second ago, how things are kind of lean for us right now. Smaller fights.
Yep.
275.
Okay.
They've already transferred 1.25, now they're gonna do 150 in 27 phase.
Okay.
You know when your date of construction to start out there is?
I know that we'll have the equipment for phase one in March. Then we're working on designing, because we were kind of caught by surprise by the grant. So we're working on designing the entire project right now.
Cool. There's a bunch of cheap sleds.
I was gonna
for
say.
sale.
I was gonna say that, but since you did, that's Ralph Meeker.
Just saying. Repurpose them on that reuse.
Right.
Seems like
Put them to use.
I wouldn't probably put any water in them,
Right. I don't know, there's a creek there.
but yeah.
Does that,
2-inch pump.
yeah. Sorry to pick on, I'm not picking on you. Parking lot, is that all,
Yeah.
pardon the pun, inclusive? Okay, cool. Awesome.
Sounds good.
Yep, amazing project.
Next page is the recreation program, so this will take place in the month of June, just like it did this year. It was a huge hit this year. We have shuffled some things around where we're asking a little bit more for the weeks. And then we cut some of the staffing, and expecting this to be, more in the break-even range. Another thing that we notated this year, was that we had quite a few supplies that we had to purchase. And this year or next year, we're not expecting to have to make those purchases. So it gives us a little bit more opportunity, again, to hit that break-even point. Unfortunately, and I think it is fairly across the country, some of the programs are, you're just trying to break even. You're not really gonna put much revenue.
It's just a service more than it is a,
Exactly.
your materials you mentioned, are those, you're gonna be able to use what you had left over?
Cool thing about this also is that it gives, 12 high school to college age kids a job
Yep.
in the summer, and a fairly decent paying job too.
It's very seldom you have anything, any one program or any one event and not have complaints, and I personally had not heard any. It was all good. And it looked great. I went up there a few times. They wouldn't let me play, by the way, but I went up there and saw it. It was good.
Casey, what all, events and programs do they have?
So we use Bell Park, soccer, pickleball, basketball, sand volleyball, and then they finish every day in at the splash pad. We kicked around the idea of trying to go to Jan Huckabee or doing something more outdoors, but we didn't want to assume the liability of having to bus kids or really getting outside of Bell Park.
That's not a problem, is it, Teresa?
Well, I appreciate you trying to use all of Bell Park's, amenities, for, like saying soccer, pickleball, and, all that, right here.
You could drive up there any given day that they were doing that, and they were just all over the park doing something. Yeah, but they were supervised too, so it was cool.
If they could lay asphalt. I wonder if they could lay asphalt.
I don't know, like a little section a year.
Yeah.
By the time those,
Fun, kids.
by the time those kids are adults, they'd have themselves a walking trail.
Just make them believe it's fun.
Junior technical college. We're teaching you a trade.
Child labor, again, Ralph Meeker.
Just saying.
It's not free.
Sawyer and whitewashing a fence?
I
Is
think
that
they'll
Tom
make a
Sawyer
shovel
whitewashing
on
a
their
fence?
side.
This is fun.
Provide them the boots and the gloves.
That's right.
On the next page, we are not expecting any grants from the Arkansas Community Foundation next year. And the last page is, just to show revenue or the funds we're pulling from Lake Trail Sign Project. Showed that we had roughly $2,700 to build a sign.
Long time coming.
So which,
Is it gonna,
I would like to do that.
do you have that, but, I mean, is that, do you have numbers to know?
I mean, whenever, the big fancy sign,
Yeah,
I believe it was
Yeah.
40 some odd thousand
yeah,
to get it taken care of.
yeah. But you're talking about a whole different idea.
Yeah, a whole different vibe. Something a little more,
I
from what I understand,
I think
a little more Michael.
Michael would have not wanted you to spend 40 grand on the sign.
His son, yeah.
Is this
Say that with a lot of confidence.
promoted on the parks website or anything for people that can donate to it?
Have a look.
Send your check.
Huh? Send a check, okay.
Sounds good to me.
That is 2026, pretty straightforward. It's $1 million at this park.
I know I emphasized it a lot, that's huge, that grant Casey got down there for that is huge, to get $500,000 on a single project. I don't know what everybody else, they took the top off of that, the limit, cap off of that, it used to be 250 match, up to 250, and they took the cap off and people were applying for well over $1 million. So when I rode down there with him, is when he informed me he had asked for almost 5, I'm like, what? But he did great presentation and got it, so that's awesome.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, great.
Yep.
So we expect the same result this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Bar's been set. You did it. You said it yourself, so.
You gotta go a little higher.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Good.
Looks good.
Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it. I think you have to do. No, I think you're good. All right. Water, sewer, whoever wants to jump in. You wanna watch him? By the way, before he gets started, this has nothing to do with the budget, but I got to witness Roxy Hall,
Thank you, sir.
your former mayor, discuss some stuff that she wanted to talk about at, Regional Alliance the other day. It was in reference to the mayor that had passed away,
Some more drink too.
Vernon. She had some
Sir.
interesting stories to tell. I think he basically told her what to do every day for, that's what she's, yeah, that's what she said. I think she said, yeah. Is that right? It was inspiring, as it always is, coming from Roxy. Yeah, well, I can imagine when the two of them, because Roxy doesn't mix words, and he didn't. Yeah. Don't wait for him, he'll be up there eating. I made those too. Mr. Posey.
Okay, have 3 budgets. We're gonna skip the water office right now, there's really very little on that, it's released of all days, and we can circle back to it. Let's go with the water treatment. So,
What page you on?
According to the index, it would be
Thank you. Thank you.
So, in this process, I have gone through each and every number. I'm not gonna go through each and every number with you guys. Some stuff goes up $3,000, some stuff goes down $3,000. I annualize it, some, annualizing is a good barometer, but some things are paid once a year, some big fees are, and obviously you can't annualize that, but I've gone through every single detail, and then I went through the office thoroughly, Pete and I went through the water treatment process thoroughly, so I'm gonna hit the big items. We can circle back to any questions you guys have got. So, I will say, let's see, the very front page is 7, water treatment. I will say, I did what I've always done, I put a lump sum in salaries. We're looking at sometime of the year revamping our, salary index, and I wanna have some money in there if we do. I just put a lump sum amount, I rarely use all of it, but, we've got some employees making what we're probably going, they've been here several years, and will probably make what I'm gonna have to start new employees out at. That's how much the market's changed. It all changed when Walmart and McDonald's started paying $15 an hour. You know, those jobs are out there. But anyway, I'll just leave that there and just go to the meat of this. So, I think, let's think here. One of the big items, page 10, chemical supplies. I've been thoroughly through that. Greg and I have talked this year several times about chemical supplies. It's one of those things that you can't necessarily go about what you did this year, because the chemical supplies depend on how much water you make, depend on how much rainfall you get, how much rainfall you don't get, depends on the weather, there's just a lot of things, but it's a big ticket, it's $115,000. James Fork Water purchase, I left it the same, we came in under last year. James Fork's been working with us, they asked us to scale back production at times, and that's good, we made more water, and they didn't charge us, they didn't charge us for the full amount, so that was a good thing for us. If we go to page 11, you'll see, maintenance repairs plant, that's another big item, $130,000. The bottom line there, cleaning and maintenance on grounds, safety bottom line, sludge ponds cleaned out, Pete got an estimate of $50,000 or $60,000. They have to commit it, they have to, land apply, drive, land apply, and so on, so that's one of the reasons that number is $130,000. Right on down, we have, maintenance repairs spillway, and there's dam permit renewal with a question mark. I budgeted $50,000 for that. Our dam permit renewal is due this year. It's due like in the fall of the year. Jeremy Shore's been tasked with working on it. He is consulting with another engineer, that's their specialty. If there are things found, and we do have some seepage, when the bladder is up, and when we have heavy rainfall, we do have some seepage. I tend to think it's pretty bladder's fully up. I just don't think that earthen part of our, adjacent to the concrete dam is really designed to have that dam up all the time. So, if things are found, I'll be coming back asking for more money, because they'll ask us to remediate it. So, we don't know. That's just solar be in the lake. That's 5,800, 8,000, 8,000. Pete and I are gonna have, before it comes up due, we're gonna have a big discussion. We may remove off the storage tank, because we've got a good electrician that we think can probably maintenance those. The one out in the lake, $5,800, that's well worth it. If we can save some money there, we're gonna save some money. But on down is probably the most important thing in this budget, the capital improvements. Engineering for the 750,000 gallon tank, which is underway right now. And the cost of the 750,000 gallon tank. So I've been getting figures in today. We've already paid out some monies on that. Quite a bit, as a matter of fact. We paid $1 million already. And then.
$1 million of this 2.8, or?
Yes. Now, I say that, I just got these figures, I looked these figures up today, then I got another bill today, so it's changed today. And so, obviously, we're not, that carryover amount is gonna be adjusted by whatever it needs to be. I don't know what that is. I think the actual bid was 2.8 million, 2,836,000, some change. Gated fence relocation trailhead, that was something that can be done. And honestly, I didn't put that number in there. Greg didn't put that number in there. That was the number that was come up with. It was for the trail project. I think that gate's gonna be pushed back a little ways, but it can be done until the tank is completed. We expect the tank to be completed, shortly after the first of the year. I'm guessing, depending on the weather, February, March-ish, it's kind of what I would think. It's picking up steam right now. Chlorination building at the Jamesport meter vault. I thought $50,000, that should be a heavy number. That started out as a barrel of bleach and a cheap pump. Problem is, it has to have a building, and it has to have engineered documents sent to the health department so they can give it a blessing. That building needs to be at that vault, because we can get a 2-for-1, we can clean up some of that. We've got some instrumentation that's out in the sun, we can get it in the building. It's in a very nice neighborhood. We're gonna have to purchase the land, but we're talking about a 6x6 building, an 8x8 building, 8x6 building, somewhere in there. Very, very small building. But right now, James Ford, they're doing the same thing we are. They're trying to buy trihelmethanes, so they turn the chlorine way down. By the time it gets to us in the heat of the summer, it's all gone. There's virtually no residual. And we're not gonna be passing, we're not gonna be in compliance. We've had some recent failures. We're gonna have problems. If we don't do this, we're gonna have problems. 50,000 should be more than enough. I'm just hoping that we can get a landowner that works with us, and will sell us a piece of land. We're gonna have to relocate it somewhere else. The idea, we'd like to start there and pick up all of our customers. Maybe even necessary to go a difficult one out at Shadow Lake.
So where are you thinking this is gonna need to go?
Right now, we have Jamesport meter connections on Hendricks Road.
Mhm.
And, that's where we're gonna put it. Problem is, there's some houses that cost probably were about 300,000 or 400,000, they're built for probably about 600,000 or 700,000 now. They may not want a building in front of their house. We're gonna make it attractive, we're gonna make it look good, we're gonna do whatever it takes. We'll put Christmas lights on, we'll put shrubbery, we'll do whatever it
just wondering on page one, you know, when you talk about, capital improvements, it says 5,720,000, but then in your detail, you know, you have just that 3 million.
There's two other departments.
Oh, this is all combined here?
That's combined.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's all right. You'll see the rest of them. It's coming.
Okay.
You're just in the treatment plan.
So, on with the distribution, and we can always come back to any question you may have. We made, there were several things at the plant that were, Pete's being very conscientious, very proactive, and he's upgrading some things. He has new ideas, fresh ideas, and there's nothing wrong with the way we're doing it, but, I think we're gaining some ground up there. I'm pleased with the way things are going. So we go to water distribution. Again, I don't think you want me to go through the postage and the telephone and the utilities and those sorts of things. So, let's look at page 16. Some of these things are like the top of page, machine hire and labor are placeholders, because we have all sorts of things that can and do go bad. It gives me the ability to hire outside contractors. And in some cases, that can be a big placeholder, in some cases, that's just a dot on a piece of paper. You can split that much pretty quick and pretty easy. But we don't use it, we didn't use for anything else unless we need it. Let's go down to capital improvements. The items we have listed are Highway 10 bypass relocation. That number is gonna change. We have 900,000 in it. I think it's about 88% paid out by now. We have a reimbursement from the state, 1.6 million. I want my money.
Right.
Don't know how we get that. I asked that question early on, consulting with Jeremy Shores, there's some forms that's gotta be filled out. took one out. So Stuart tells me if I take one out, I gotta put one in. So that's what $15,000 is for, have another one put in outside of this contract that we took out. And we took it out because the line had to be relocated.
Is this the one in front of the new Masonic Lodge where you says the cost sharing?
No, we'll get to that one. This one is across street from Key Glasses.
Okay.
So the other 10,000 is, Masonic Lodge came to us and asked, first for us to pay for a fire hydrant, and then I think the commission resolved to participate on the halves with it. So that's where that $10,000 is, but my thought was it should only be 15,000, so that would put that cost at 7,500, our cost share.
When you say the first one you're referring to from Keith Glass, is it across 10 or across 96?
It's across 10.
Across 10 up there?
We were gonna put it on Keith Glass property, but he wouldn't give us an easement. So I'm gonna get fire hydrant.
Well, I guess I was thinking there was one across or already there, right?
There's one on the south side of the road,
Okay, on the south side road, yeah.
but the water line's gonna be dead, but that one's on now,
And so this one's going to be
about the same place,
about the same place?
further back.
Okay.
Three interconnections for James Fork service area. The total bid was $192,234. We have paid $135,226.13. We have a remainder of $57,008.19. So that number's gonna change. Now, when I say a remainder, there are a lot of variables in that. The reason the project should have already been finished. They had trouble getting bacteriological samples to pass. Finally, we took it on, went out there, first go, passed. Got 2 consecutive in a row. So they couldn't get them to pass, or that would already been done. So now they're just down to so there are several things on the cutting, capping, and actual tie-in. There's pressure reducing, there's 2 pressure reducing valves, and so there's some things to install. And all this stuff's unit item, so things move around a little bit. Could be a little more, could be a little less. But per contract, 57,000 is what's left, rather than 225. So all these big numbers, we see, with the exception of the building addition, and some of that may be paid out any day, with the exception of the building addition and the Deerwood pump station. They're gonna go down. The VFD for Parkhouse Pump Station, the parts have been ordered. I'm told that that's gonna happen this month. And, that'll be done, over with. That's a project that has to happen. We've gotta take, shell lake tank offline. We can't take it offline until we get a VFD installed. And the reason why, and I don't want to worry about all the details, but basically, we take a tank offline. You're first pumping a certain pressure, it'll pump too much pressure on your customers. So the VFD gives you the ability to dial in, and right now, we have what's called a soft start. For whatever reason, in 2001, maybe it was cheaper, I don't know, VFDs are probably real high now. Anyway. So that should be done, so that would probably be missing. So a lot of these numbers are gonna change, I'm gonna have to get with Tom, we're gonna have, but they're gonna go down, not up.
So is a VFD, is that some type of variable flow device or something?
Variable frequency drive. That allows you to dial in the pressure. If you wanna see 92 PSI, you can hit 92. If you wanna see 118, set 118. It just gives you that ability. And it's still, it ramps up slow, it ramps down slow. You don't want your pumps just to, you have hammered. Repairs the tanks. Okay, so we had a insertion valve, that it's $11,000 on a 6-inch line. That's a valve that we're cutting in case we have a failure out in between the Park Heights and Shadow Lake area. We'll be able to isolate without knocking a whole community out. And, that's what that's about. The capital expenditures are backhoe, quick coupler, and a trailer for our ATV. And I think the quick coupler was a little less than 5,000, but I kinda rounded it off to that. But that is the meat of that. We still have our, some of the concerns I have in the distribution. We have a copper lead service line inventory that's required, mandated, and it's had a 3-year implementation. We're ending in our, next year will be our third and final year to complete it. And there have been various different things that we've had to do all along, and one is send out notifications, and so, our billing software doesn't like to send out notifications just to certain people. We only need it about letting our people know about it, wants to notify everybody, but we've done that. We've done everything. The thing that we're lacking is we've got about 300 service lines left at least. You have to hit a, we whittled it down from 3,900 to 11 something, through investigation and personal knowledge. But we still have to physically hit a certain percentage, either identify all 1,100 of them over a period of time, or this year, the percentage, I think, for us is like 356. And, my guys, they go out and fix leaks almost weekly. They can't even, as soon as they fix one, there's another one fixed. And I'm sure that you're gonna drive somewhere in Greenwood on a given day, and you may see some water running down the road. But it don't happen often. If you drive through Fort Smith, and I'm not knocking, but it's a much bigger city. But these service lines have reached into, they've reached into their line, and they failed, and they're just going out. Plastic ain't forever, guys. All they have to do, it just is not. So, we have some challenges, but I think we've got a good hold. I've also, we were a person down. I've been through 4 people in the last year, and every one of them, I upped the scale, and every one of them left for a higher paid job, and they become very good at this job, honestly. So, we had budgeted, overall, we were set to hire 2 people, so this year that's what I'm gonna do. The good news is, it sounds like well, I don't know if it's good news, but it kind of is for me, is that it seems like the job market's getting a little tighter because we've got a lot of applications. So, we're looking to fill in 2 new employees. We're also looking to use the water plant personnel as, water treatment / distribution. We're gonna use them in a swing position where they come down, do work orders. They did all the mowing this summer, freed my guys up, huge help. I mean, there's enough of them up there that they can help. We're gonna do a little cross training. And the work orders, it sounds easy, it kinda is, but there's a lot of little things to learn. You gotta get the numbers right, you gotta get the right meter at the right house. So anyway, so we're utilizing our employees, making the best of what we've got, but we're a very small crew. We've got a lot of work to do. Anyway, that's not part of the budget, I'm just throwing that in there.
So Tim, are these 2 new positions?
Well, you might say no. Typically, we used to have 6 employees on it. We've got 4. And I've got a mechanic that's working part-time. That's a blessing to me. That's all he wants to work. The good news is, I get him 3.5 days a week. I don't have to pay him any benefits. And he furnishes his own tools. But other than my mechanic, we've only got 4 employees, excluding myself in distribution. Then there's 4 in the treatment plant. So we were a person shy already, and we were looking to put a new one on. So, yes and no. six is kind of our regular staff, what we should be. And I think, you know, when we were looking, going through the wage and salary, not wage salary, when we had Hawkins, we're involved in, evaluating the, pardon, the rec study, that's the word I was looking for. So, we allowed, I think we were very frugal, so we made provisions, we just haven't been able to find anyone, and,
Ralph, we had 5 positions for the rate study, only 4 are currently filled. In that rate study, added 1 new position. So they, not being able to keep that 5th position full, it's actually, I think they've had a couple people take it and leave. So this year, they're going to try to hire the 5th position and the 6th position added in the rate study. Hopefully one will stick around out of the 2.
hopefully Mo.
That makes sense.
Mo's gonna do our best. We're burning our guys down, they go out at night, and, we go back the next day. And it's not like we have a relief crew that we can swap off, and I don't know that 2 people are gonna be necessarily, the right 2 people could be, but it's gonna be, it'd be a huge help if we can get 2, the youngest person, we won't talk about age or anything, but we're all getting up there, all of us. So, we need some help.
Talking about you earlier.
The youngest person I have is fifth.
No, before me.
So has been, always has been okay from all through the commission.
I feel the need to do my unpopular speech right about now. I did this with the Water Wastewater Commission. It's not a popular speech, but I feel inclined to do it on behalf of all the employees. And I will start out with a couple of things. I realize the water make money, and I get that. But on behalf of all other employees, and nobody knows this, nobody knows how this budget looks yet. Nobody's, unless they're asking and we're talking, I'm not sure we are. For water, wastewater, Tim mentioned a while ago, he's got money budgeted for incentive or merit raises during the year, just a lump sum as he's done in the past. All other departments this year have decided, and not on their own, but encouraged to not include any merit or incentive raises for any employee, and then hopefully, and the COLA's in there, as Tom's mentioned, for all employees. But I just want to say, on behalf of all other employees, and it may not be looked at this way, and I've used this analogy myself when I changed hours over at the street department for those guys, because it made sense with the director at the time, for them to be able to work and do the things they need to do. We changed their hours, and nobody else has that. So I get the thought process. If you want to work for the water sewer, go apply, or if you want to work for sewer or street, do the same thing. I just a little worried about how, and on the subject of these guys being overworked, I know they are, and I get it, and you're 2 employees behind. I've watched that over the years, and it's hard to get people, as you mentioned before, good people that want to stay. My comment is, I hate to see one department offering incentives and merit and not everybody else being able to do that. Budget's not over. It's y'all's job to make a decision at the end of the day on all of these. So I just want to say that, and it's not anything, absolutely anything, as I said in the Water Commission, against who you have and what they do. Everybody deserves more money. If it was up to me, and I'm sure if it was up to the council and we could afford it, everybody'd get a raise across the board, and all would be good. And I very much encourage this department to get those salaries up, however you need to do it. The matrix that we call it, I think that's messed up a little bit for everybody. That's not just the water sewer. It's kind of out of whack, because it's been a while. I don't know how many years now, Tom, we did the matrix, but it's outdated already. So that's my 2 cents on that, pardon the pun. And if I hear later that, hey, the mayor's against raises for water sewer, so be it. I heard it, but that's not my point. my point is, I would like to see it across the board if it's possible, and it's gonna be not great for morale for everybody else if one department gets it. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just wanted to address where we're coming from. We want to obviously support, you,
Right,
what you're coming from.
right.
I understand that.
Right.
Our issue is we're at a crisis position. This really has nothing to do with calling it mayor. It's kind of a wrong way of looking at it. In my opinion, we are at a crisis position here with our staffing. We have a staff that is close, the majority of our staff is close to retirement age. We don't have anybody in the wings to trade up. And part of that problem has been because we don't have the salary that we need to keep those people and get them attractive. Unfortunately, we don't have a choice in our two departments. Of all of the departments, or most all of the departments in the city, we have to by law operate
Sure.
and keep things moving. You don't have a choice of not doing that. And so the commission itself is understanding that we've got to be proactive here. Because in another year or two, we may be facing not having anyone trained to run other plants and keep things going. We're just fortunate right now that we have these two. But,
Totally agree.
huh?
I agree
Yeah.
with that. It's no doubt.
That's kind of where, and they're worried about it too. So
Sure.
we're trying to look at our salary matrix, just try to kind of, our problem is that we are so low on our starting, pay, and like Tim said, and, so we're not getting anybody in that starting position as far as the younger folks who need to start training them up. And if we've got to raise them, get them attracted to this job, but yet we still have all the other people in between that have worked so many years, and they're feeling, it's just something I think right now we're at a wall, and it is built into our rates, but I do understand what you're saying about looking at the city as a whole.
Yeah, and it's, thank you, Teresa, for that, and you and I have talked about this before, and we, so I equate that a little bit to as in or two with the rate increase. We had to do it, one, by law, and two, we were way past due doing it. When I say we, I'm here now, so I have to say we put it off for years and years and didn't do it. So when we finally did it, that stings to the public. You still see a little, and I don't base my life and my duty every day on what I see on Facebook, because if you did, we'd all go home crying probably, but it is what it is. So, but you still see this cry out of somebody yesterday of all, here it's been how long since we increased the rates, and like yesterday, somebody wanted to know if they thought their water bill had gone up. I'm like, well, if you've been paying attention, it went up a long time ago, and there's a reason for it. And you can explain that away. I mean, not you. We can all explain that every single day, and people still go on. So, no, I get everything you're saying, and I just, on behalf of everybody, and my job is the whole picture, and I know I'm not anti-rate. I'm the guy, these guys know, every year preaching about raises for everybody. COLA, for sure. I think that's automatic, or I think it should be. It's not necessarily. And then merit when they deserve it or when they can get it. So anyway.
But what I wanted you to understand is that the commission is looking at it,
Yeah.
keeping the water and sewer functioning.
Sure.
We're not even looking at, so-and-so over here should get this amount, and this
Yeah.
one. We're not looking at it that way. We're looking at it as what we feel like we have to do to keep it staffed and keep it running.
Right.
But aren't y'all going to kind of make a proposal of adjusting the matrix though? And so, I mean, won't that really kind of do that in place of the merit?
Well, you don't wanna adjust it just one time, you wanna leave some room in there, I would think, because all that does is buy you one more, if you just do the little bit, if you adjust it by just a teeny tiny bit, then that just takes care of that, this one time, but I guess so, but no one's gonna come to work here making less than what they're making. Not because, even for benefits, not because they don't want to, because they can't afford to. You guys know, you know what it's like when you go to the grocery store, you know what it's like when you pay your bills. People cannot afford to take a job making less. And everybody I interview and have interviewed is making more, way more than we started out and have ever started out. And every guy started out just a little bit more. And also, people aren't gonna take a job that they can't live on, you know, unless they have to. And then they're only gonna take it until they can find a better job that they can live on. And this is a job that requires, it's kind of it's one of those jobs that requires you to do physical, hard, dirty, hot, wet, cold labor, but it also requires you to be able to think, problem solve, get licensure. It has critical thinking involved in it too. I'm just saying, our competitors, we've always looked at comparing us to other cities, and that would be the same as like comparing, our fire department maybe to Jenny Lynn or something. I mean, you have the haves and the have-nots, and they're not our competition, the Four-Streams and the other construction companies out there. They're paying equipment operators $25 an hour to start out. And the gas company that's paying people $27 to start out. They're paying more than we've got people maxed out at. It's challenging.
So let me ask you this, how many total employees are we talking about between the water and sewer at adjusting their salary in the matrix?
Well, we're talking about adjusting the entire thing, but that's not what we're here to do tonight.
Yeah, we
Uh,
haven't
we're
got
not.
to that point yet.
But I'm just saying, how many people?
See, 5 in distribution, 4 up at the water plant, 3 in the office, right? That's 12.
Once upon a time, it used to be
How many
20.
do you have?
I have 7, but
19.
and not, my
Used to be
position's
20
fine,
once upon a
my
time.
position's fine, but everyone under me, all of those, everyone needs to be adjusted.
But that's what a matrix does. It gives you a band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially on the low end, our problem is our start, it's really our start is the.
Well, in the maxing out, we've
Yeah,
got people that are maxed out, and it's, I don't know, it's tough when they pick up the newspaper and read about all these big raises, and they ain't had a raise in years, other than COLA, which to them, to me, COLA's a raise, but to a lot of people, it's not a raise, it's just an adjustment, it's a cost of living. But I'm not here to beat that
We're not-
bandwagon tonight.
Yeah, we're not gonna
I'm
probably
just,
get it all done this year at all, it's just
it's,
what we're looking at as far as.
the market's gonna be what the market is, and we can't change that. We can either go with it or do without. And, I've been through 4 people, and every one of them went to a higher paying job, every single one of them. And quite frankly, weren't even good at this job, and they went and got a better job, a higher paying job, is what it is. And that's great. I want everybody to succeed, and we just got a department to run and people to count on, and there are a lot of things going on.
So have we started the process of adjusting that matrix or investigating salaries?
We have, yes.
Do you have a,
And we know we have to bring that before the council, but we didn't want to muddy that with doing that with also the.
but do you guys have a timeline of completion on that? Because I see, I get why you guys are putting the merit in there
A
currently.
lot of that has to do with the training and certification too on those merits.
But I don't want to start the process across, and I'm not saying that Doug would, but merit is to incentivize people for doing a good job and to reward them for doing a good job. It's not to fix other issues. And so I would be more supportive of you guys getting after, let's fixing the matrix, let's actually fix the problem, than to Band-Aid it with merit, reduce, morale in other departments, and let's get after fixing the root of the problem.
You're 100% right, because even if you give me this lump of money that I'm asking for, I'd say about 78, 90% of people, I can't do anything with because they're maxed out and been maxed out for some time. So, but if I don't put it in there, and then so we're gonna fix that problem first. We've gotta fix the matrix, salary schedule, whatever you wanna call it. That's got to come first. But that's just some money sitting there for when it's resolved, that we will have it, won't have to come back and redo the budget, revisit the budget.
Well, I think that's an easy fix to redo the budget. I mean, because I agree with you. I mean, it just says it right here that they're all maxed out, so you can't do anything to it.
Council, and it's a month, and it's a month, and it's just.
Right.
We can take care of it right now. Or not right now, but in the budget. Because either one or two things are gonna happen. If we don't fix it, it ain't cost you anything anyway, because you can't spend it.
Right.
Can't spend it. If we do fix it, well, then there it is. It's a moot point almost.
I mean, you guys will have to you'll have to bring the matrix back to us for approval anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we adopt the matrix, there it is. It's in the matrix then already. Now you don't have to, have the merit incentive in there because it's in the matrix.
I gotta say this, because it's just who I am. Technically, the commission has the right to develop their own matrix. Out of courtesy, I'm sure they want the council to be okay with it and to bless it. Sorry, that's
I
me.
think, I think it's the merit incentive that's throwing it off. It isn't what you would give other people in other departments. It's some money to help us work with the salary we're just setting it aside now. And I mean, if y'all want approval before we act on it, that's one thing, but it's not really merit incentive pay. It
Right,
needs
that's what
another
I'm
name, but
that's
that's
what
the
I'm
line
trying to
item I'm
say.
given. And
Yeah.
so I can't go adjust people's salary now because they're under the salary max. And then most of mine is to develop people. It's more of a development, it's almost more of a development fee. I mean, I don't know what we could call it.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
right.
I know everyone else, it's a raise in merit, but it's more about growing the positions. And then, yeah, we can't fix the salary maintenance in time to pass the budget. I mean, we're really looking into it. So I know we have to call it something, but I think merit incentive might be what's throwing off, because that's what every other department calls it, but it's almost not the same thing for us. It's retention, it's just something different, which may not have a good name for it. That's my number one thing I was gonna say. I am worried about the future, because the whole industry of water and sewer is in a crisis. It's not just us. There's a huge gap between the people that are gonna retire soon and the people
John's got something to say.
and I mean, it's industry-wide, so it's not like you got a big pool to pull from. You've got to train, you get anybody that's half good, you've got to train them, and paying them more is part of growing that team. It really is.
We had two nearby systems that have talked to our employees about coming to work for them, but they require higher licensure than they have here. So if we encourage our people to get licensure, which they need, they'll become very much more attractive to nearby systems.
Yeah, they'll be stolen.
So we're gonna be a farm club for other towns, so you're pay up.
Well, and the police department's in the same boat.
Right.
It's exactly the same thing they have every single year, that we pay for training and then they leave.
Yeah.
So,
Where I left,
It's NIL all over.
yeah, basically, yeah.
You're exactly right.
well, where I left was almost in the same position, and I was able to give more money as people earned it and I mean, I was able to leave there, and they've got people that are gonna run that system now probably for 10
Yeah.
years or so, and a lot of it had to do with paying them.
Sure, and I,
leave a team here.
yeah, and the police, I mentioned the police pay, and I'm not necessarily suggesting this, cause there's some disagreement with this, but they have, remind me, Tom or Charlotte or somebody, they have certificate pay, they have other things that, I am all about getting the people you need and getting it, something in place to get those people and retain them.
And that's what merit.
Yeah, so maybe the labeling of it is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we can call it, but
But it just
Well,
seems like to me you got the cart before the horse, because I would like to see the matrix improved, you know.
Man, you said in our meeting, so it's,
Well, and I thought you was going to do a matrix, yeah, you know, but I'm still, you know, I thought you were going to do the matrix.
Effectively, got something, we just haven't presented yet, because things take time to, you know, we looked at the different scenarios. I mean, you change the minimum or the maximum, and there's some pitfalls with that. You either have to rework every single thing, or you can just change the percentage on the top and be done with it, and have the ability based off level, skill sets and so on, and hire in, kind of have a figure in your mind. So so we've kind of got that. I mean, I think we're on track. It's just cumbersome to get it done. We're double layered. We're rich level IP.
Well, then, because like you said, Tom, I mean, Tim, you know, you can't apply this to any of your employees except for the water operator maintenance one, because everybody else is already, you know, under the current matrix, already tapped out.
You're asking me to present a budget, and that's what I'm doing, that what we expect to do next year. And that's what this is. It's a forecast. That's it.
But it doesn't say that, and the budget says an $8,000 lump sum for incentives. That's,
Change it to something else.
well, I'm just saying, you have to,
Matrix adjustment,
you're sticking on little
matrix
details.
correction, yeah,
That's
something like
a
that.
form that's a form that we've been using for a long time.
Well,
I can change the words.
and let me say this, if I may.
You may.
That has been in there for years. I've seen that, I think that's been there as long as I've been mayor. That's almost 12 years. And and just take it for what it's worth, there's been very little of it used over the years. And and when it was tiny increments, tiny. $1, 75 cents. So if the, I don't,
Call that tiny?
I
absolutely.
I don't call it tiny, but neither.
Okay, if you're getting paid that,
I got $1.50 for taking over the water treatment plant.
not to, okay,
I guess
we'll disagree on that, but a 50-cent raise these days is nothing.
Well, I agree 50 cents.
Or 75-cent raise is nothing.
It's $1,000, what is your?
I can do math. I know what it is. And by the way, I totally disagree with your COLA, your thinking there. I'm not, it doesn't matter. COLA is cost of living allowance. It's not a raise. It's an allowance.
You are right.
For the price of things that are hitting. So I brought this up to say in a polite way, I'm trying to speak for the city or for the employees of the city. And I didn't say a while ago, and it doesn't matter, and I'm not trying to use this as anything, because it is ultimately up to the council to decide how much money goes to the I'm all about honoring the commission. I don't fight that. I mean, Teresa knows that. But the commission says how much money is put in the budget, and then you do with it what the commission desires. If I understand the statute, probably don't understand it completely. But I will say this too, for the public, for my 2 cents worth, as the mayor, I know why we did a increase. I'm well aware of it. But when the public has an increase on their water bill, double, whatever it is, and then they hear and or see raises given out to those employees, they think automatically, I'm just telling you what people think, and you know this, I'm not just kind of preaching to the choir, they see that as, well, that's the reason we got our rates increased, because they needed to give raises, and that's how the world works, I get it. But,
we'll just say it was for the splash.
well, you can do that, and they will, they, in fact, they have.
They already have.
They absolutely have
Yeah.
said that. And they also connect the splash pad to the water department.
Right.
You know, and all of that. So that's crazy. You can't control that.
And the sewer plant, and the sewer department.
And the sewer.
Yeah.
Let me address one of your comments.
Okay.
Because I put a lump sum when you give someone a raise, maybe they only deserve 75 cents, maybe they only deserve 50 cents. If they don't show up, I don't give people money for not showing up.
I would expect not, yeah.
And, but you've gotta keep their attention and reward them because, and also, it's a balancing act. I have to represent the city, I have to represent the employee.
I understand.
I can't give $5 to one person and then say, I'll spend it all on him, and so we kinda spread it out, and we're kinda frugal with it. I think we've been very frugal.
I think sometimes we've been over frugal, that's my opinion.
I kinda take pride, and you kinda make it, in how I've handled it, and you kinda make it sound like I've handled it poorly.
No, that's not what I said.
Well, you said very little has been used.
There were years that there was very little use, Tim. I can go back with you if you wanna look at it. I mean,
Could we call it a matrix adjustment then instead of a merit incentive?
Better or salary, yeah.
Because we're looking at, adjusting the matrix.
by the way,
Or correction.
there are other departments that are in the same boat. A lot of employees are topped out in the city of Greenwood. Street, police, I mean, there's just a lot of them. Planning, I mean, just a bunch of people that are topped out. So, to that point, it's across the board. So we're all, my point is this, and I know this sounds all kumbaya, but we're all in the same boat. We may have different oars, but we're trying to do the same thing, and we're all in the same boat.
Employee development,
I would,
that be a better thing to say?
you know, I think it's a better terminology, and I think people would be less whatever about it. But I would encourage you, and people may hate me for other reasons for this, but I would encourage you to look at merit pay, or, I'm sorry, certificate pay.
Yeah.
And things like that. Hunter, in one department, is working his butt off, literally, to get every certification he can. And in my opinion, he ought to gain monetary, he should be paid for that. Now, there is a question, I think, once you get it, do you keep getting it every year? That's a thing for everybody to think about and have had many discussions about. Does it get to a level and you keep it? And I think, my personal opinion,
Employee development.
I'm sorry?
Why don't we just call it labor or employee development?
But even certification is because they already are certified, and it's just pay to keep certified people, or you're trying to get them certification slash development. I mean, that is what it's for. It's
Right, but,
because we have to be licensed.
no, I get that, and I think, and again, I say this all the time, I really do, I don't, because I'm not anti-water, wastewater, I truly am not, and I'm not anti-employees of anybody, I'm just trying to keep it as level as I can, and I don't have that control necessarily, but I like to at least think I do sometimes. So, everybody ought to have the same opportunity, everybody doesn't work in the same department, I get that. Street guys don't have to be certified unless they're working a machine, backhoe operator or things like that. They don't need what your people need. I get that. So I tend to agree with what you're saying, Teresa, and horse of a different color, however you want to look at it. I don't have a name.
Merit does have the connotation that this employee is not doing their job as good as this employee.
Yeah, and
That's not what we don't want.
yeah, exactly, across the board. And I get it, you're just because I'm not,
And I agree with you, I didn't like the merit, personally, I didn't like it called merit.
yeah, and we're all adults, all the employees are adults. We're not in kindergarten, we know that, Tom's looking at me, are we? But, just because so-and-so gets a raise doesn't mean I'm gonna get one, because there's other reasons.
Our approach is we want to be able to give them the tools that we can keep these employees and even bring some in and start
Yep.
training them up
Yep.
so that they see this as a career
And-
and stay with us for a while, so that's what we,
I wanna add one last thing.
what is that?
Okay, employee development adjustments. I'll go along with that.
Do you already have it up there? You didn't move your cursor in it.
Well, he just sitting there looking and listening.
If I have $3 available.
I seen it.
Before an employee maxes out, or say $5,
Yeah.
I don't give him the whole $5, they do well next year, you give them some next year, you give them, you don't, that's how it was always taught to me, is we don't give it to you all at once. And we can do that if you want, we can just say, you're a great employee, we're gonna take you right to the max. I've seen that happen, I've seen us start people out at the max and haven't even proven themselves yet. I'm gonna say which
Well,
department, but
some of them are started at the max because of their background and what they came from.
I
And it's
think
not
the,
just
the,
about
the
being proven.
water
I think
and
you're-
wastewater operations have been very prudent with their salary management and stuff. I'm just, it's just that we're, this is a critical year, and I think we're all having to, be,
A little more frugal,
yeah.
a lot more frugal.
And obviously, we would never go over what, we would not increase it. I don't think we would increase our employees to the point we'd have to have a rate increase because of that.
Right, no, and that's not what I meant. I'm talking about from the perspective of people that are out there. Thank you.
Don't go yet, he's not.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have blessed with the presence of Councilman Steve Tetford.
Just, Tim, I had a question just on your, the materials and supplies. You said that was a kind of an increase,
Steve, I gotta put all that up.
under, it's on page 14.
You don't gotta be so.
You went from 122 to 203. I just wonder, is it the day-to-day operations that's the big increase?
I think the 300
Yeah, we're all-
was an encoders and 50 complete meters. The 100,000 is kind of a norm, for day-to-day materials. There's some, influence encoders are staying, in the line.
One good thing,
It's cold out.
Rather than buy the whole meter, I just buy a portion of them, and, they get hit by lawnmowers, they go out, and
Cars.
it's just, that's why it's 203.
I was just wondering, that was just kind of a big kind of a good increase from the, the actual this year.
It's that 85,000 for the 300 influence encoders that really jumps it up.
Okay.
That's 300, that's what Vince feels like he needs to keep. What happens is we do a drive-by system, very, labor saving, but at the end of the month, he has so many failures because the batteries have gone out, they shut his light, so we have to go out and change them out. And, that's probably by the time we get all those changed out,
Gotta-
it's just a never-ending cycle, we'll be back at the beginning.
Sure.
Unfortunately, that's what we've been seeing, maybe we get a little few-year break in there that we get all caught up and get them all replaced. That's the big driver on that, is that 85,000.
All right.
And, if we didn't have the money, we'd scale it back, but that feels like that's what he needs, that he can use, and that he can get in the ground. But what happens, when you read 100 meters in a row, it's not a big deal. When you read 100 meters, that are scattered all over town, it's a big deal.
I see.
That's what's happening when these are going out, have to manually go out there.
And then you said that you were waiting on a reimbursement from RDOT. You said was it 1.6 million?
In the document that I have, the participation is 50% of that contract.
I was just wondering, is that reflected on the,
So this has got to be adjusted,
okay,
or not, am I right or wrong, Tom?
It's a reimbursement, it's a cash flow issue.
okay.
So you're on the hook for paying the whole thing, and they're gonna reimburse us 50%. But there's a form we have to fill out, Danny, which we don't know what the form is. Apparently it's easy, what they said. That's what Jeremy said.
see.
But it looks like it's gonna cross over fiscal year, so we're gonna have to consider that for next year.
Okay.
Because my point is, these numbers from these capitals are gonna change some, likely to change some, and hopefully for the better.
Hopefully about $1 million.
And so, you know, Jeremy was up there and we asked him, when all this unfolded, we asked him about it and I've had a lot of conversations since then, so I remember the word of it. But
Sure.
something to the effect, it's not a big deal, and I do that, and then when I'm asking about it this week, that's really not the same message I feel like I got this, it's a little different. But and does the project have to be totally completed and signed off? Don't know, we'll find that out. So, we just now, all these payouts have just kind of caught up. I mean, it's been kind of, there's not been any reimbursement until the last month or two to be had, so, all fairness, but.
Well, we, was that?
That would be, it would be
Revenue.
revenue, because he's already charged it.
Okay. I'm just saying, I know this is a big project, and we've, you know, we've learned about rebates through this and how it impacts us, you know, and then, you know, just learn how just being, you know, reimbursed from RDOT is gonna take time and stuff. I was just wondering how it all impacts us.
I've been told that the state is very expeditious once it's submitted. Now, my expeditious, and theirs may be a little different, but it's probably expeditious to them, it's probably 2 to 3 weeks. Which means that it's gonna be over the first of the year, so we probably need to show a little more. And I need to whittle those numbers, I need to get good clear numbers, they're changing every day, they change today.
Because the $1 million mark, or the $972,655.12, not that I know that number, is the surplus generated from the ARPA redistribution for purposes of the public safety police salaries. That amount of money we were holding until he has spent at least up to that amount, if not more. That was all paid out of city sales and use tax. Today, the check had been deposited for the $972 back to reimburse the city sales and use tax. So they just had an uptick of almost $1 million back to their city sales and use tax, which paid for $972,000 worth of relocation of the bypass utilities. So that happened today. That's all you got for him?
I did, yeah.
Alright, then I wanna go to what he didn't touch on, was water office. There's one thing I wanna point out, when you look at it, water office, according to, page 3, you're gonna see down at the bottom, just before the workers' compensation, water sales tax paid. Okay, that number's gonna jump at you to be almost a gas. We budgeted $196,000 for this year, because that was based on last year's, we only had the rate increase for usage in there, and that reflects just that, but this year, phase 2 of the rate increase went into effect, which was the fixed rate. So we're paying taxes, sales tax on the sale, and that includes the higher cost, higher rate. So that went up significantly by almost a little over $100,000 to $305,475 right now. That is a full year, by the way, because we paid December, so next one we pay will be in January. So that number for the budget went up. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but it went up to 306, because that's about what we're saying, right, it's on par that we're estimating next year's revenue stream to be about that.
Same.
So, now here's the good news to that, and that is that that's passed on, that tax is billed to the customer, so that's collected, paid, and remitted back to us through the bill. So, that's in the revenue stream, so you don't, it's not a big net effect to them, is what I'm saying. And then if you go to the very first page, where it talks about the combined, this is the water top is the revenues for all revenue streams from the water systems revenues to funnel through transferring back to water O and M. This is their operations budget right here. Now, you will see on there a revenue stream for city sales and use tax. And that's a transfer from revenue that comes from the city sales and use tax to offset the capital expenditure items that they have spent for what was designed to be out of that taxing document, the capital. So you see 5,738,000 there, but if you look down at the first two, the fourth and the fifth, the third and fourth items, capital expenditures and capital improvements, that's your same amount of money. It's the amount of expense that they're gonna incur and the revenue that's being transferred in to cover it. So it nets out. So what you see at the bottom, even though you see a high inflated dollar amount down here, right there, 9,000,005, that includes the 5 million, what was the number I said?
Yeah,
5,000,007 in that number. So you negate that out on the bottom, it's in the revenue and the expenditures, so this amount of money down here, this 323,000, that's the net from operations. That's everything else, all the other expenses that, is not related to capital. So they're consistently, they're running negative. And when you look at what they started the year with at 827,000, if you take what they're currently at, which is a negative 343, you will, we have pending transfers that came in from recently submitted invoices that haven't been transferred from city sales and use tax. They are sitting at about $497,000 right now in their bank account. That's about half. And then you take the 323,000 that they're budgeted to, they're gonna be down about $173,000 in that account. But, that is a consolidated for water sewer that's being now reversed funded by the sewer department's revenue stream, which is highly healthy. You'll see that in a minute. But I wanted you to watch that number. We are watching that closely because that is a live, O&M is a live checking account. So this number cannot get zero or negative.
So if they do get reimbursed from RDOT, that'll help this number here, or?
That's city sales and use tax. That revenue will help their city sales and use tax monies. It will help reimburse what they've already spent, but it's not gonna be O&M.
Okay.
Did you mention that we haven't had some reimbursements from city sales and tax going in O&M yet? Did you mention that a second ago?
Every time you guys spend, every month, we do a transfer. We have one set for you guys now. We do a transfer from what your capital spend has been so far. We pull that money out of city sales and use tax and offset the O&M. So that the revenue, this number, pointing ain't doing a pretty good. This number right here, transfer from city sales and use tax, this 3,000,002 is what we've transferred. But down here, this 3,000,009 plus the 62,000 is a transfer that's in the works. So it will, at the end of the year, it will net to zero. Capital plus the transfers are zero. So it removes the impact of capital from this. That's consolidated. That's because they don't pay their capital bills directly out of the city sales and use tax. They pay it all out of O&M, and we have to
City
reimburse.
sales reimburses later, usually there's a delay of a month or two.
A month, yeah.
And sometimes that can be a big bite, and sometimes it's not much anything, so if it's a big bite, then our numbers will be a lot more healthy than that. If it's a small bite, not much.
So we're watching that. I just wanted you to know that it takes we have to cash manage because they have to be profitable. And those are live accounts, so.
And what you'll see during the coming year is water will not make that much income early in the year. During the summer,
Correct.
see a big, they'll make their profit for 3 or 4 months in the summer, and then it'll slack off in the fall. I mean, I think we were down 100,000 in water for the first 4 or 5 months, and all of a sudden we were up 300,000 or 400,000 by end of September. So I mean, it really comes
summer.
All the swimming pools and irrigation, car washes, all that stuff.
I water my, everything, washing clothes, showers, everything.
Sure.
So what he's saying,
But that is a close number now from what it's been in the past, 173,
yeah, well, sewer was in the, we had the ability to transfer, because there's no restriction to, we can fund them some cash flow if we needed to, and we've done that for sewer department.
I see, okay.
So, we'll be watching that to make sure that you stay liquid there.
Okay.
But just so you know, the water sales, I will show you this. This is what he was talking about. This is your water sales by month, and you'll see it picks up around the spring, and it goes up, comes down in the fall. And if you wanted to look at it on a big graph, that's your gallons of water sold. But you know, this trend line isn't very robustly growing, as you hear. It's kind of weird. This is the account growth. That looks very ominous and awesome, except the problem is that's only a couple hundred over that period of time, which is since 2018.
Right.
And then you look at the sewer accounts doing virtually the same thing, and that's net growth. So I just wanted you to see how that works. Yeah. So that's exactly what he was talking about.
That 8-year growth that you show, what is the percentage from year to year?
Water sold virtually next to nothing.
Yeah.
No, the one after that, Tom. Yeah, so that's 8 years, right?
That's correct, and it's up to just over, right at 4,000 from 3,700.
That's the number of customers.
And that-
Number of net customers
Okay.
growth
And that,
during that period of time.
what year did that start?
2018,
2018.
Right at 300.
and they see this every month.
So where will we be in 15 years? Probably about up around 6,500.
I don't know, but if you grow, yeah.
8
If you
years.
grow like you're growing here,
Right.
the water, the actual sales of water is dropping. So if the sale of water is dropping, there's a lot of factors to that. As the wetness, the dryness increases or decreases the use of water, the need for the use of water, but also more, I wanna say it's not energy efficient, more water efficient. The appliances are, has a lot to do with it as well.
Like dishwashers and wash machines are more efficient.
And the higher rates get people starting a little bit.
Yeah,
That too,
yeah,
that is true.
we saw a little drop in water usage due to our rate increases, probably because of that.
Now they're starting, when they were ignoring little leaks in their toilets, now they're really concerned about them because it is adding up now. You know,
I fixed mine.
there you go. Did you get a permit? Just
To fix the water leak?
Hey, I didn't know you needed a permit to put in a water heater.
I just found out that you have to get a permit to pour a driveway. I thought I was in trouble. Hunter said, no, that's brand new.
Oh. You should have told him that the water heater was brand new. Well, it was, it was brand new, I put it in myself. But, anyway, I wanted just you to see that, what he was referring to. I also wanted to show you how we, in there, the first couple of slides, this is the estimate that we have, you've got this in your packets, actually down at the last, let's see, the operational revenue projections is page 18. And it shows you how we project that. I have a list down here in the bottom that you don't have in your sheet yet. That shows the actual revenues that we've received January through November, all the water, all the sanitation revenues, the admin fees, the surcharges. And then because we don't have December's numbers yet, we averaged that for 11 months. We use the 11-month number, and then we do the average billing times 12, and that's where this number comes from. And that's when we're saying the 2.6 million in water will probably be closer to 2.8 using the current averages. And we do the same thing with sewer. Sanitation, if there's an increase, we'll just drop in the percentage right there, and it will recalculate that for whatever cards comes back with for a rate increase, which I'm pretty much anticipating they will have one, because the sanitation rates went up at the dump. And that's an automatic pass-through. As far as the surcharge is concerned, that's also one that, there could be a rate increase on, but with, as I pointed out, 26, I think, ends no, what's the difference? Ends no, surcharge. And we do the same thing for the expenses. We anticipate what the intent, what they are and what the percentages were, and we project that expense for the next slide, which is your water systems revenue account, to show what it's gonna actually end up being. There is a timing difference here because January's numbers are December's. We transfer December's revenue in January, so December's numbers that will be actual expenditures will be revenue for the January of 27. That's how that works, because the transfers happen at the close of their books, water's books. So that's how this whole thing works. It's similar, you're gonna hear from the sewer side, because they have the collection and the treatment plant. Those are two departments, and then it all consolidates under sewer. And then I'll show you what their numbers are gonna look like. And then consolidated wise, they're well over $500,000 pretty good as far as their department is now. When she's done, I'm gonna show you city sales and use tax and what those numbers look like, and then give you a caveat based on Tim's conversation with you today. Take it away.
Want to hurry. So I'm just gonna start page one, but I am gonna say that I did write down, I am concerned for the future. And you can have all brand new equipment, but you don't have employees to run it. Don't have,
Don't have it yet. Hold on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Employees make everything work.
Well, and sewer's not glamorous, so, you know, if somebody wants to work in it, it's not very glamorous.
Crap.
Ready? So two things that came to my attention today. One is we got a pay request for the splash pad work, which is $257,862 that I do not see in the budget for this year. So it should have been carried over from 2024, but I don't see where it was a line item in this year's budget. So Tom said we may have to put it in next year's budget and pay it next year. I just got the pay request today. So if we do that, we're gonna need to add that to the sales tax, sales and use tax.
It'll have to be a budget amendment, adjustment rather, because they don't have another meeting, and it will have to go through the
Okay,
board.
so just, we'll leave it alone, and then we're gonna have to amend the
budget
budget
resolution.
as it is. And then the other thing is, y'all did, approve 60,000 for a valve for the bypass. Well, it's being ordered, it's not gonna be completed this year, so that is not in there as a carryover, but we'll just amend the budget for that as well.
Well, it's in this year's budget, right?
Yes,
So if it's in this year's budget, you don't need another resolution, we'll just carry it
you
over.
just but it's not up there as a carryover.
On this one, but we can just adjust
You
it.
can just do, okay,
Because it's in
okay,
your, it is budgeted.
okay. Okay.
You don't see a budget on this, what
Right.
she's talking about on the splash pad.
That first item, though, you were saying is like 247,000?
Yeah.
The first one is 257,862 that I received today. We've spent about 21,000 this year on that project that we really didn't have a budget for. I probably could put it over into something else, but, a lot of that was spent before I got here, but, anyway, for the splash pad, 257. I'll just jump to page one of the handout, and if I'm correct, Tom, on the back, if you exclude the sales and use tax, our revenue less expenses nets us $340,000. Is that conservative doing this budget. I've just sat through the financial review, how poor we are. So I really looked at everything and may have underestimated some things I need, but I was trying to be realistic and use the 11-month average, you know.
Look at this number. 731,000 is your surplus
Right.
right now today.
Right, and I'm just saying, we're probably gonna spend that $340,000. I just don't know what it would be on right now, I'm just saying, because I was,
Operational or capital?
no, on my O and M.
So operationally, you're gonna spend it. Like professional fees and
Yes, just
Salaries.
because I was, it's
Maintenance
very
and repairs.
conservative, but if the revenue comes in and we've actually got that money and we need things repaired, I'm probably gonna come back to you and ask to use that money at some point. I don't know enough about the system still to know what we still need, and I'm not talking about capital, but just repair. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about salaries anymore, except mine went down this year because we got rid of a position, we got rid of 2 positions, I absorbed one of the positions. So we've actually budgeted $42,000 less for salaries than we did last year. And that still includes potential the lump sum I put in there. I'm still $42,000 less this year than last year on budget. So I'm just on page 2, just the combined everything. I'm just hitting those highlights. On the treatment plant, I'm just like, Kim, some goes up, some goes down. I tried to kind of keep the same budget as last year. The biggest, change is we spent double on repairs. Oh, well, that's not at treatment. Let me just stick with treatment on page, 3, utilities, we budgeted 92,000 and we're already at 110. So I did budget that up to 130. On capital expenditures for the treatment plant, I am jumping all over the place trying to hurry. We had $1 million last year for rehab, and we probably spent about $500,000. We've kind of lowered that down because I think this year we're just gonna figure out what we need, and we probably won't spend, but maybe $500,000, we figure it out, and the upgrade, the headworks needs to be upgraded. So we lowered our capital improvement budget from 1.6 million to 500 to $500,000. And part of that was because, again, I said in the meeting where sales and use tax is down, and so I tried to think of, do we really need that much this year? And I know Tom's talked about us getting a bond, so most of that $500,000 is just to kind of figure out what we need.
Expenditures, 63,050, fees professional. You guys had $10,000 budgeted last year, and you haven't spent any to date, and I see you're budgeting another 10,000.
Yeah.
What are those for?
I left that alone. That's not tied to any specific project. So most of the professional fees we've spent this year are tied to a project. So that would just be if things came up out of the blue that we might need the engineers to come and look at. That's what I've always thought that kind of professional fee is for. If a developer comes in and wants to do something and we need them to analyze it because they're not, we have to pay. So I've always thought that's what those professional fees are non-project related professional fees.
Exploratory.
Yes, and so you hate to get rid of it because if something comes up and I need to call the engineer, I need to have somebody there already in place. So, if we don't need to spend it, I don't want to, but there are times when you're gonna need to call in an engineer. And if it's not tied to a specific project, which all of my communications with engineers this year has been tied to a project. So that's why I haven't spent any of it. We hadn't had time to even go out there, but, sometimes developers will call me, and so far, nothing's been, we can't figure it out, but if we had to, that's what that's for.
Okay.
plant, those go up consistently all the time. I was told today chlorine gas is going up again, it went up $1,000 a cylinder, it's going up $600. We are looking at an alternative that may be just as costly, but it shouldn't have the increases. Evidently, the plant's closed in the state, or the chlorine's coming out of Texas now, is what I'm told. So I'm gonna try to find if there's any other providers, but a lot of people are getting away from chlorine gas with the 1 tons. Let's see. So really, I went down on, I stayed about the same on capital expenditures of the treatment plant. I got rid of some chemical containment items and put a pond aerator in, which right now all of ours are working. So I don't know that we'll need to spend that, but that would be a potential expense. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't know what I need out there. So the 500,000 is probably gonna be, half of that is to get the engineers to tell me what I need out there. And the other half, I know I have to replace some stuff at the headworks. So the headworks is where we screen the influent, sewer, and we get the big particles out and put it over into a chamber, and it goes to the landfill. All of that is 25, 30 years old, and it's just barely hanging on. So if we don't have that, then all of that would come into the plant, and I don't know what it would do. So I'm just saying that's the first, January 1, I'm gonna have the engineers out to replace that, and so that, I may have to come back to you. That may be more than 250,000, I'm sure it is gonna be. So the treatment plant, not much changes, just almost the same. On collections this year, we spent double repairing pumps at lift stations. So I have put more over into capital improvement to actually replace the pumps instead of continually repairing pumps that are getting obsolete, and that we're spending too much on repairing pumps. We should just replace them. So, I mean, it's still not that much over in, capital improvements and expenditures, but I've taken, I'm not increasing repairs. I'm just gonna buy new pumps instead of replacing. But I imagine we'd still have a lot of repairs, because it didn't take much to knock those pumps out. Something gets in that, a blade gets bent, and you've gotta pull it, send it off, have it rebuilt. Sometimes it's almost as much to rebuild as it is a new one, but anyway. We took out some of the projects, so we went down from 3.4 million in the collection as capital improvements, and a big chunk of that was the Ware Road lift station. We don't have a path to move forward there just yet because we have to purchase land, so we've kind of parked that to the side, but we still may need to spend the engineering money to get that going, to decide 100%, where we need to put it, what we're gonna need. So that's why that's kind of been put over to the side. And then the shop building is just something we wanted to put on paper, what it would cost to put a shop out at the plant, to have us all out there at the same location. So the new items on there that are not carryovers are the relocations of the line going across Hartsville Creek in 2 different places. Those are just definite estimates. So I may come back to you after the engineers look at that, and we may have to increase those, or that's just a stab in the dark. Anything else? That's all I can think of right now. I mean, it's, not knowing 100% what we're gonna need yet. Everyone laughs about the sewer model, but we're gonna get that done this year. We've gone out and found all but 3 of the 70-something manholes they say is the reason we're not finished. So we found all but 3. Well, we found the 3, they're bolted shut. We've gotta get them up. And January 1, I'm calling the engineers to come out. So after the sewer model, we'll probably find out more things we need to do, but.
Is this the infamous sewer model?
Yes, and it's gonna be done this year. I mean, I've given them maps, they
Hold your hand up. Hold your hand up. That's been a long time.
He says all we need is these manholes, the data, and he can run the models, so we found them for him. And we're gonna have him come out with his crew, we found them for him, so.
So you did it for him.
Well, we found them.
I'm just being a
We're
little,
gonna have to
I'm
come
just
out-
being a little
We'll
sarcastic.
probably come out and charge, yeah, I mean,
It's been a long time.
instead of just telling me, well, we can't find, I
Right.
was saying, well, give us the list, and I put them on a map and printed them out.
Sure.
And the guys have been looking for them for 2 weeks, and they've got them all
Yeah.
located, marked, we're ready to go.
Good
We just
deal.
need his crew to come out now and get the data they need from
Holding,
each.
holding to it.
Well, Tanya, on, going back to page 3, you know, you said in this year's budget, you know, we had 1.6 million in capital improvements. You only spent, you know, 462.
Right.
Is the 500,000 that you're proposing for, you know, 26, I mean, is it, was there a lot of stuff in, you know, this year that didn't get done, or that y'all were wanting to get done, or, because it looks like these two combined are still less than, you know, $600,000 less than what we proposed this year.
Last year, they put $1 million for, I don't know what he meant to do with that. That I am handicapped, I don't know what he meant to do with that. We finished up whatever was started before I came, and that was about $500,000. And so, I don't know what other things he had planned. So, what I'm gonna do is get some engineer out there to tell me what we need to do, but we know we need the headworks redone, so we're gonna get that redone. We're gonna at least get it engineered or planned. If we don't need it engineered, if we can just replace, we're not gonna have it engineered, but we're gonna go through the engineer, and, cause it's a big project. So I don't know what he had planned for the other $500,000. I have no idea. But I guess what I'm just trying to tell you is we've got plenty, we could spend double what I put down here on paper and not be buying anything we don't need, because the plant is old.
And-
We've got a lot of things out there that need looked at, and
Does that tie into the 65,450, the maintenance and repairs plant? You know that we had 115, we only spent 31, but we're going back with 115.
I'm sorry.
It's in the middle of page 3, let's see, it's on page 8, kind of the third item down, that 65,460. No, that's not it. Where's the 150? Yeah, 450, the second one down. We had 115 budgeted this year, and we only spent 31.6, but you're doing 115 again this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just tell you, we just survived this year. I mean, honestly, we had so much going wrong with the pump stations that it was one thing after another. I could spend 115 out at the plant very easily, but I kind of want some guidance from an engineer on where to start. I mean, you know, the reason we didn't spend it is I just didn't have time to figure out which one to spend it on. That's not, we could spend that easily.
Okay.
The clarifiers are old, the inside, the bull ring, the gears, they're 25 years old. All of that can be redone, and I'm sure it's way more than 150, if you just repaired it. But I'm gonna spend everything I can this year.
Like you're saying, getting something new is almost as, I mean, getting something repaired is almost the same as getting something new.
Right, and so that's what I'm saying. I would like some guidance from the engineers, but we know we need the headworks. I mean, we've got now gonna pull a motor and try to replace the seal, but I'm afraid when we pull it, it's all gonna fall apart. It's old, paddles don't work, it's rusted, it's bad. So, so if we didn't spend it this year, it's because I was just trying to play catch up and figure out what to do with the chemical building out there that's just sitting. We spend a lot of money on that, we're not utilizing it at all, because we have to pump from that building, it's pretty far out. So I'm gonna have to redo the chemicals to utilize the building, but I don't know what his plan was to do that. There is no plan. Part of my problem has just been trying to figure out what was meant by what was started and how to finish it up,
Do you,
so.
do you ever, is that something you still stay in contact with him to get any ideas what he thought, or is
Well,
that?
I mean, the guys tell me what they thought, but maybe it doesn't make any sense to me, and thoughts
I know.
don't mean anything. You've gotta have
Sure.
something on paper and,
And I know he's retired and he probably wants to,
yeah.
he's
yeah.
enjoying it, but I just wonder if there's ever,
Well, I think this was maybe more from the more recent director.
oh, Dawson, I'm sorry, I said
Yes,
Greg. I actually, yeah, Greg's retired, Dawson's,
Right,
Dalton, what'd I say? Well, Will Dawson was in my office today, so
yeah.
forgive me.
No, I mean, I think there was just like, this sounds like a good thing to do, but maybe logistically or maybe
Yeah.
it really,
Yeah.
and I did, but it's not working right now. 'Cause
Yeah, I have one more question, I'm sorry, or
That's fine.
for now. The engineering, you keep referring to having to, are you gonna, I like Jeremy Shore, as we all do, but are you looking elsewhere, or are you gonna rely on him? What's happening?
Well, I mean, you're gonna waste, I'm not gonna waste any engineering we've had and knowledge they have, I'm
Sure.
not gonna waste that.
Sure,
But if it's something new, and I know we need that headworks, I'll do whatever it takes to get that headworks. So if that firm is not able to expedite that and get on it,
Yeah.
then I'll talk to the commission about how they wanna move forward.
okay,
Because it's kind of a replacement of what we have, so it's not like I have to reinvent the wheel.
right,
But if the new systems aren't exactly the same footprint, like I've had before where I gotta redo the electrical, I mean, it's kind of just a repair.
Well,
So
I've
I
always-
wouldn't mind their advice on
Yeah.
who to go to for that. So-
and I've always understood, or thought I understood, that anything any engineer did for us at any time, we paid him, it's ours.
Generally speaking, yes.
It belongs to us. So,
Yes,
or we have access to it.
right. But I've had to switch engineers before.
Sure.
And it's not great.
Oh, I'm sure it's
bad.
not, it's
It's
like
bad.
switching a coach in the middle of the year.
That sewer law, we should just stop it right now, we'll have to redo it.
Do I now?
Yes, we're sticking
Don't
with
wanna
what
do
we
that.
got.
No, the
Stuff
sewer
that's
model,
already
no, I
stuck.
would say absolutely, you, I've been hearing that for,
Service for our sewer system, we'll have to redo the sewer model. Trust me, the new engineer will wanna do it to make sure.
oh, I know, yeah,
But new things that they haven't touched,
Yeah.
they've not been out to the wastewater plant to really
right,
analyze it.
right,
So if they can't commit to me in January that they're gonna come out, give me a contract, tell me what it would cost,
yeah,
then I'll go to the commissioners and just say,
Yeah.
look, we have to do something at the wastewater plant.
And-
What do y'all wanna do? We've got to move forward.
and there's other departments that have used other engineers
Yes,
recently that they
Yes.
used before, and even those engineers, they'll tell you up front, I'll have it next week. And
Right,
you,
that's what I mean.
you see it's gonna take a while, so yeah.
so
You-
that's what I mean, it's not something I wanna do,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, we're gonna replace that headwork
Yeah,
somehow. I don't know how, but it's bad, it's the worst thing out there. And the collection system, if we can get all new pumps in and the things I put down, I think we'll be okay for now. And then we've still got tons of projects with the existing engineers, the Indian Hills we're gonna get that
Right.
finished. So sometimes you do need, you need to, I'm gonna help them get it done. Because
Right.
we need that done. So, but out of the plant, we've gotta get that headworks, that's just hanging.
Well, when you said the large particles are screened and that we don't want them to come back, I would agree. I don't wanna know what those large particles are, but I got a good idea.
No, it's just rags, and, I mean, it's just removable. I mean, you wouldn't believe the dirt and grit, and it's just, it pumps up and it goes into it. I mean,
Yeah.
all of that's just barely hanging on to me.
Sewers are not closed systems like water, all kinds of gravel and dirt.
Sure.
and-
Well,
Let's fix it up.
I remember Greg talking about, just for a second, these flushable wipes that they're flushable, but that doesn't mean they,
Yeah.
After the headworks, the clarifiers need to be redone.
yeah,
And those are things it's probably not gonna be hard to repair, but can we patch some of that outer diameter? Yes, but just like the headworks, we can't patch that anymore, we need a new system, and they sell them like that, where it's just a system.
Okay.
But we still want engineers involved.
Sure.
So if something goes wrong, they can step
Put-
in and
put
tell
their
us
stamp
how to
on it.
fix it
Yeah.
instead of,
On your, maintenance and repair of pumps,
yes.
you had budgeted 52 this year, you spent 92, but you're just going back with 52. I'm thinking, that's why I always hear that pumps are going out all the time, so we need to keep that higher?
I put the 52
Oh, okay.
over, I'm buying a bunch of new things.
Okay.
So I'm still probably gonna have to repair, cause there's two in every one, so that's right, instead of upping my repair, I'm getting, buying new ones.
Okay.
And I think if I have half new, then maybe I can keep it, but yeah, I went over that double.
I just didn't know if you needed to keep, bump that up a little bit more than within
Well,
52.
After that's what I'm trying to tell you, I may come back, I may have to come back, since this was all a new process to me for a year. I've always done budgets, but it was different here. And I was trying to scrimp and save at first. And,
Well, I like to go new if we can. If it's gonna be just a few bucks more, go new.
oh, yeah, and I'm just like anybody, I don't take it lightly. I mean, I really weigh it, but I promise you, if I'm spending $16,000 to repair a pump that costs 20, and I'm repairing it so that's, yeah.
Right. I agree.
Tom, how many departments have decreased their salary for next year in their budget?
No one's,
Except for Tanya. Thank you very much.
Well, I think that's why when you get to that certification line, that's part of it, is because I've absorbed the whole job that we don't have to spend the money on anymore, and you've only got two people that's the future, and I've gotta train those guys and get them to stay, along with at least one or two tenured people.
Got a couple of others that are about retirement age too. I said, you got a couple of others about retirement age.
Only have
Yeah.
two that are not
Yeah.
knocking on the door of retirement.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, and I've got two good ones too, that are the future, and they're gonna be good, and I'm gonna cross-train them. One already is, so that's what that money's for, is to retain, so I can teach the new and the future. And, nothing against anybody that's been here.
Right.
I wanna.
Sounds good.
I'll take it on Monday, Mayor will take it on Tuesday. We don't want that to happen.
That's right. I can't leave you, either one of you leave without me saying this publicly, because I need to say it. And I didn't see a new vehicle in either one of your budgets, correct?
Somebody needs a new one, they can take mine.
No,
I know.
I've seen that too.
All about the state contract.
we have, but I am going to forever remind us all in every meeting that we have that there's a procedure to follow, and that's not on you guys, but
I don't even know how you buy one without going
Well,
through that
we-
process.
It can happen.
ask Jeff.
It can happen.
Ask Jeff.
we didn't know.
You can still bid them if you don't wanna go state.
Right.
You can still bid
But
it.
I will-
Sometimes the local dealer will match.
I will forever bring it up, so.
And I am gonna take the grants workshop, even though I didn't do 4 or 5 of them.
Sure.
But I will take that one in March.
Well, thank you.
Now, I want you to see on the screen, you mentioned salaries, it's up on the screen right now. We have all the numbers in with the proposed salaries for all the departments. The dollar amount with the 2.5 COLA, the amount of increase from last year, total budgeted pay is only going up 2.82%. That's COLA plus what you have in water sewer. That's it. And if you looked at each department individually, sewer's down 470,000 over 509 from 25's budget. And, 185, 522, everybody else is pretty much, there's, animal control was down primarily because there was a separation between code enforcement and animal control. Animal control and code enforcement was in this number. And then, that's about it. But I wanted you to see where the numbers fall. That's where they are right now.
Good.
Can I ask her a question? So, you talk about personnel and people are getting a lot older and you may not be here in 15 years. So y'all are working on a plan, right? Like where we're gonna be in 5 years?
But it comes down to money. It comes down to money, not necessarily the people we have, they probably still, but it does come down to money.
Yeah.
You have to pay.
Sure.
And, if I have people working at a plant that are doing chemical tests and working with raw sewage, and they're making what a
Right.
just answering the phone. I'm not gonna last doing that.
Right, and we're not gonna get anybody to replace that person
Right.
when they finally leave. So,
And,
Uh,
and it is, you're born to it or you're not, because it's not, water's not glamour. You're on call 24/7, you could be called out at any time, and you're compensated for it, but it's not a job you clock out at 5, it's not. It's all the time. Whatever the treatment or just a collection or distribution, you're always have to be ready to be called out at any time. So most of the guys that I've seen that stay with it live close, they wanna work in the community, so they're not doing it just about money, but in the end of the day, yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to stay there
so
and make less than, you know.
is it are we competitive? We're not competitive, and we're aging out.
Yep.
I really, I'm worried that, yeah, I'm worried in a few years that we're at a crisis. And I wish y'all to come back maybe in a few, later in the, early in the year or later. And maybe figure out what we need to do to make it look for 5 years and not, and you're right, it's not glamorous. And you pointed at Tim and said water isn't glamorous too, but he's very glamorous. And, he's like a male model. He's always been very nicely trimmed and his shirt's tucked in all the time, so, but.
Everything I ever go to, I go to a lot of manager stuff, every system is kind of where we are. So, and you can't just put someone off the street and they do the job the next day. It takes training, you need to keep your people you got paid well to stay and train the new people and wanna train the new people.
Right.
So it's not just a plug and play
Right.
kind of position. They're all
Yeah.
Right. If y'all can wrap your heads around it of what needs to happen, I wish y'all would kind of come back and, in a few months and maybe start working on a plan.
We've got that in the works.
That would be great.
Yeah, we discussed that earlier.
Oh, you discussed it earlier,
Yeah,
okay.
'cause we're talking with Tim on
Okay.
on the water.
I mean, it isn't just about money. You can pay someone a good wage, and if they're not gonna do the job, then it doesn't matter how much you pay.
Why are you still pointing at Tim? He does a great job.
Because he talked about all this before.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was up before she was.
okay, I just missed that.
I'm just cheap with employees.
You're cheap? Okay, well, you might can get away with it, but your replacement may not, so.
Unfortunately, we're competing against people that are going to work at very, like entry-level jobs, and we're getting more entry-level jobs than a lot of ours. So that makes it hard.
Well,
It's so labor intensive.
I just ask y'all not sit on your laurels and,
We have
Pass.
no more.
okay, and come back and let's do something.
We will.
And I agree, it is hard, and I mean, I don't know if that was a result of COVID or whatever, but, trying to compare, y'all starting positions to, I hate to say it, but, an employee starting out at McDonald's or whatever, there's, or even an employee starting at Walmart, there's just really no comparison there, but they all of a sudden said, hey, we gotta up everybody to, a minimum of $15 an hour or whatever, and then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I can see if I was a young guy, whatever, well, hey, I'll just work over here at this, other job, because it's a lot easier, it's an air conditioning, and,
Middle of winter and
yeah.
work out winter.
While y'all are sitting there, and we are talking about this, I had a water connection problem earlier in the year, and it involved more of Tim's guys, and they come out and, man, hard working, they left covered with mud, worked hard all day. I felt like I needed to go buy them lunch, but I was also covered with mud and just very professional. One was Kenny Dorset, and his son was out there earlier, but he didn't work for us, and he was marking lines, and I didn't realize that was his son.
And his son earns more than
And he was clean,
And exactly,
Yeah.
and making more money.
right. And that's, anyway, the guys you had were very, very impressive, very hard workers. And, I just, I was very pleased, so.
They're good guys, they get a lot of compliments and, tell them all the time, they try to help people. I've seen every one of the girls in the office and the guys pull their monies together and pay people's water bills. I've seen that more than once.
We-
That's the kind of guys.
It's not an everyday occurrence, but it does happen from time to time.
Some lady called up that lived in Bonanza, but she had a water leak. They went on their, this is a couple of years ago, they went on their own time after work, went to her house, it was an elderly lady, and she'd had an old dog pen and a water line right out there. And, her son asked her, said, why are you calling the Greenwood Water Department? And she told him, they're still good people. But they went out and fixed her water line with their own, not with the city stuff, their own personal vehicles. That's the kind of guys that work for the city of Greenwood Water Department.
And those guys are hard to replace. And I don't know if the guys that I'm talking about, they weren't young.
No, they're not, that's why we didn't get working on HR stuff.
We've got a wheelchair that somehow ended up, I don't know, might have dropped off over there, I don't know.
No,
They forget about it, they
that
wanted to
didn't-
use that to a work order.
I didn't do it this time.
Well,
If I'd have thought about it, no.
She
Ken-
got-
Kenny and those guys, and I can vouch that too. I've had the same experience. They've showed up at my house, and I told them, don't be. Well, in fact, they thought it was funny one time because they had to shut my water off because it was leaking down there, and I was this close to getting in the shower, and I think they knew that somehow, but they missed an opportunity. But they.
No, Kenny had turned it off.
I know he would. In fact, I went down there and I told him, I said, you missed my shower by about 2 minutes. He goes, dang it.
I guarantee you turned it off.
You too.
Their water history and tell them they take.
Yeah. But the same thing, they got muddy in my yard and got out of there before I'd even knew it. And they are incredible. We get calls. Danielle gets calls complimenting on those guys.
Well, she's got some sewer guys the same way.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
They both got them good people.
Guys, we need them just as much, but
Yeah.
in reality, we gotta start planning.
Yep.
The senior guys are worried about it.
We'd like to keep doing that. If we can get an extra year or two out of those guys, it would.
It'll help you. Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do.
And Kenny, all those guys defend themselves very well in that water office too. So that's a big deal. They defend themselves pretty good against those ladies in there. That's a tough task.
That's another thing too, you would not believe some of the things that the ladies in the office, well,
Oh, I see it.
they're subjected to.
I hear it.
Some of the things that people, names that people call them and,
Yep.
it's,
They don't know how to keep their tax easy than the sewer people do.
I don't know how to keep them just going crazy, it's tough to make, and they do a good job keeping
Yep.
composure. That's a challenge.
All right, Mr. Marsh, you got anything else? Anybody, budget-wise?
I do.
Oh, I'm sorry, you do, I'm sorry. I thought you were shaking your head no.
I thought you were saying you had ready
You
to go.
were.
I said, when you're done, talk about city sales and use tax,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is what they talked about their departments, but the transfer, I wanna show you the
Okay.
impact of that. It's on the screen right now, it's also
Was he not-
on,
Was he not saying that?
it's on page 6 of your, not web part. It's the city sales and use tax is what you're looking for. So page 15 of your sewer budget, last page, line one. And what you're seeing is the proposed budget, it's $2 million to them for a flat budget from this year, for next year's proposed budget. In the city sales use tax, that's at 1%. And we're budgeting about the same $105,000 in interest income. That used to be several years ago, about 12,000 a year, 24,000 maybe, I think it was. Cause all we were getting was piddly passbook checking account interest. That's what spurred the conversation about us taking the idle cash and investing it, and when we started talking about that, lo and behold, that interest rate went way up. And that's what we've been getting, from farmers, and that's excellent. That's why we're not doing anything with the CDs right now that are in the account, because we're getting good interest on that too, but not to the extent that leaving the money in here was generating. As far as the transfers are concerned, we're looking at transferring this year, up to $8,600,000. That leaves a deficit from the $2 million that's coming in of $6,400,000 budgeted. Key there is budgeted. We started the year with $5,700,000. We had a deficit of, so far as of today, before the transfer of the 972, $2,500,000 was a deficit. Take that out of the amount that was in the account at the beginning of the year, your amount would have been $3,100,000 in the account, dropping from a high of over $6 million. The restricted general surplus funds came over today to offset what has been spent out of that account, in other words, reimbursing them. So your account right now as of today is $4,100,000 in that account. So we paid them back for what they have spent on from the surplus funds. Budgeted revenues over expenses is a deficit of $6,400,000, which means projected for 2026, that's a real bank account, that would be in the whole $2,300,000. However, after we sit down and finalize, we meaning Tim and I, what his actual carryovers are, and I'm hearing probably a number of a little over $1,000,000, and what he's already spent this year from those carryover numbers that will have to be adjusted down, plus the revenue that would come in from the offset of the 50% of the matching grant, matching RDOT monies that is gonna be reimbursed to us. This number probably will be down about $1,000,000 and a little $1,250,000 maybe, depending on the numbers he gives me. So you're still negative, you're just not negative as much, but we have to cash flow that, because that is something that is of concern now. To what extent do we have to, if they're really robust and go after every bit of capital spend that they are saying that they wanna do and wanna accomplish and are guaranteeing us 100%, 99.9.
We're not doing that.
Yeah. He said it's gonna be at 50%.
I think Greg said, and quote me, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said, you can fire me if I don't do it. If I don't do it.
He said that before.
To you guys,
Yeah.
and he's not here anymore.
Nope.
But it breaks down between those amounts, and like I said, that's where the talk about some of the financing might have to come into in order to set them straight. Now, there's nothing that says that the monies can't be shifted, the payments can't be shifted back over to the O&Ms, but I don't wanna get in that habit. This is standalone specifically for the purposes of capital, and I'd like them to live within that means. Now, there is some thought about don't go borrowing, you don't need to borrow, there's a lot of talk about that, but I'm a proponent of borrow in the cases where you have growth, where you have the return on that borrowing. You don't really have return on stuff that you're carrying, it's already in the ground, because it's already generating the revenue. You just didn't take care of it, now you're at a means where you have to. And that's about 90% of your expenses right now that you're incurring, or 85% as of the last count, is all repair and maintenance. It's improvements and betterments to your existing infrastructure. So once you start getting into the growth mode, then you probably will need to be looking, because you're spending it all right now on betterments and improvements. You might want to look at maybe getting a bond for potentially growth-oriented projects, expanding the water plant or the sewer plant, or putting lift and pump stations where you need them, in order to spur more growth or capacity, increase capacity. Those are things that you do want to look at. So, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that we're looking at a return on that, of that debt service that you're gonna be incurring. It's all in a cash flow basis, but you do want something that's gonna generate income back. And growth does that. So, but I wanted you to see it. That's what that
Now, what does TRM mean?
That means Thomas Robert Marsh.
Okay. Dang.
That means that I verified that number,
I see, okay.
just to let me know that it's good. You won't see it. That, you don't see it on your report.
Esquire.
You don't see TRM on there, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? That's right.
Yeah, we
because-
do.
Because I included everything below.
Yeah.
It's more of a messed up TRM.
Yeah, it's kind of a messed up TRM.
Barely got the T on it.
Nobody touches that budget but you.
That's my check visit to tell me that I verified the number. Against the balance sheet. Pardon?
Esquire.
Yeah,
TRM.
Esquire.
Esquire.
I wanna make sure that I verified it. That's my way of telling myself.
I'm gonna start.
Esquire.
It's like an auditor's tick mark.
See, there's-
Mr. Tedford, got any questions? Sorry.
There's gonna be a test.
There will be a test. Now.
That's all I have.
Any questions, gentlemen?
When do we meet again? On the
Thursday.
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 Animal services and planning.
You are all cordially invited to our employee luncheon at Bell Park. I think we've done this before. Nobody ever shows up. I think AC did one time. Anyway,
It's hard to sneak away and miss it.
I understand, but we'll have, it's a meeting. It's not just a Christmas dinner, lunch, but it is a meeting. But we will probably have leftovers from said meeting, Thursday night. So, are you? Okay, that's all right. You've been up there.
No, I haven't been. I'm gonna try to come.
Okay. But that's at Bell Park, so.
Yep.
If no further questions and or comments, I would entertain a motion to
Motion.
adjourn.
Second.
Adjourn.
Second.
Go back home.
No, we're not voting.
It's so
Thank you,
frustrating.
Charlotte.
Last time this happened,
Sorry, Steve.
I had 2 pods fail from the same box.
not much, but
And the last one failed 2 days ago, and I called, and then I